SpaceX continues busily launching Starlinks, while the next Crew Dragon and its Falcon booster gets ready for a late September flight to the ISS. Meanwhile, China is building its own new space station. NASA promises money to a company that will put instruments on the moon. While in Washington, a NASA funding authorization bill in Congress gets a boost from semiconductor chips. This is Space World Update for the week of 24th of July, 2022. Hi everyone, I'm Jack Eppington, and we begin with a housekeeping note. I did say the 24th of July, which is a Sunday. I've decided to move the production date for Space World Update from Monday to Sunday because there's space news happening on Sundays, and so it's a better day to do it. For example, this Sunday, this morning in fact, SpaceX kicked off the week with a Starlink launch. The Starlink 425 mission took off this morning from Kennedy Pad 39A and was the company's 33rd launch this year. It follows the 3-2 mission last week that launched 46 Starlinks from Vandenberg, fog and all. Several hours earlier, China launched a laboratory module for its second-generation Tiangong space station, shown here in a render as it will look completed. That module, called Weitiangong, is intended to dock to an existing core module in orbit, and at least one more module is expected by the end of the year. The finished station will be crewed, but will be smaller than the International Space Station. Each module is roughly 14 meters long and 4 meters in diameter and weighs between 20,000 and 22,000 kilograms. NASA announced last week that the SpaceX Crew 5 mission to the ISS will launch no earlier than September 29th, and that means that the next Soyuz crew will actually go up before then. It will be boasted by a brand new Falcon 9 rocket with some even newer parts. That's because we learned last week that that Falcon was damaged in transit from the Hawthorne factory to its McGregor, Texas test site. So some parts are being replaced, including the interstage. It's not really a big setback, but it did lead to some wisecracks on the internet. Inside Crew Dragon Endurance will be NASA astronauts Nicole Mann and Josh Casada, Japanese astronaut Koichi Wakata, the only veteran of the crew, and Russian cosmonaut Anna Kikina. NASA has awarded Draper of Cambridge, Massachusetts, a $73 million contract to deliver Artemis science investigations to the moon in 2025. Draper plans to build a lunar lander called Series 2, which will land on a large lunar impact crater on the far side of the moon, close to the lunar South Pole. This is one of several NASA contracts for commercial scientific missions to the moon in connection with the Artemis program. Interesting developments in Washington as the NASA authorization bill tries to get passed. But the popular topic in Congress right now is not space, but chips, as in manufacturing semiconductor chips here in the U.S. as opposed to China or elsewhere. So the NASA bill got folded into the Senate CHIPS bill. The House version did not have the NASA bill in it, but last week they held a big conference negotiation between the House and Senate, and as the end of that negotiation, Space News and other media reported that the conference product includes a NASA authorization. However, it doesn't actually authorize any specific funding. It mostly just adds bureaucracy, such as a Moon to Mars program office, essentially a Artemis program office. That would be inside the existing Exploration Systems Directorate. And the bill also has other things in it, such as formally extending the life of the International Space Station to 2030, something NASA has been trying to get codified for a long time. It also looks like this bill, in this version, the conference product, will go to the floor as the final CHIPS bill with the NASA bill inside of it. You know, I might even do a separate video on this thing a little later to do unpacking of it for you a little bit more. But that's it for now. Please subscribe to the channel. It would be greatly appreciated, and thank you for watching.